So I want to talk to you guys about finding who you are as an artist. And I think that a lot of people come in and they're confused. They're like, who am I? Who do I want to present myself to be? How can I present myself to be this person? Do I have the skills? All of these kinds of questions. And there's this identity issue. And personally, I've been struggling with that too. Recently, I started a YouTube, and I'm starting to realize who I am and who I'm not. Because you can compare yourself to a bunch of these people on TikTok, you can compare yourself to a bunch of these people on any of these social media platforms, and you can try to be like them. But if you aren't similar, you just simply will not be that person, and you'll get burnt out and you'll get tired. I'm not the kind of person who has these powerful meme things that I can just throw out left, right, and center. That's not me, and that might not be you either. It can be a skill that you can develop, sure, but you have to realize that you can't always play a character, and you can't play a character that you don't enjoy playing. There's no problem with having a separate kind of personality that you put out there under certain circumstances. For example, the professional you or the you at school might be different from the you when you're at home or with other people. That's how human beings are. We have a lot of behaviors, but we only exhibit certain behaviors when we're in the right circumstance. It's not always time for us to be loud. Just because we're not loud in a library, does that mean that we're not being ourselves? No, it just means that you're exhibiting a behavior that you find appropriate. There are people who will choose to be loud inside a library, and I'm not talking about those people who like, breathe reading, where they're like, no, I don't mean that, and I don't mean other certain things. There's just some people who don't realize that, hey, I should be quiet inside a library. They want to do their own thing, and that's their behavior. But the behavior you choose to exhibit at a certain time is part of who you are as a person. That's your personality. Now, coming back to the whole art aspect of it, is that you look at, I don't know, maybe you're looking at Marco, you're looking at Slew, you're looking at Proco, you're looking at Jazza, you're looking at David Finch, you're looking at a bunch of these YouTube artists, Kipto, and you're trying to be like them, you're trying to figure out where you fit. And I think that it's completely fine. But you also have to realize that where you fit is exactly where you are right now. You fit as the person who's trying to figure it out. Gary Vee once said that he would love to see the moments before Drake became Drake. And I agree. I'm like, let me see the journey. Let me see, how the hell did you get there? You look at documentaries, and documentaries are only made when somebody is where they are. But imagine if you could have a documentary where you saw the insight into someone's life before they were. You can look at a lot of these YouTubers and you get the opportunity to see them in real time. You get the opportunity to, like, personally for me, I want you guys to scroll down and look at my TikToks and think, this guy sucked, but he's come so far, because you can learn from that. And you can also see where I wanted to go with it. And that's what most people are afraid to put out, who they really are. And who you are isn't based on the character that you're playing. It's based on almost the desire to be that character. Not everybody wants to try and be a Johnny Depp. Not everybody wants to try and be a Gary Vee. Not everybody wants to try and be a Kellogg's Loops or a Lau Van. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly, or any of these guys. But you do, and you're on that journey. And because you're on that journey, it's unique. I think being who you are is owning each aspect of yourself, and also choosing which ones to maybe not show. You don't have to show everything. Like, for example, you don't know what I look like. You know what my hands look like. At some point, you'll probably know what I look like, but right now, I'm in that stage of my journey where I don't want you to see my face. And that's fine. And that means I'm different. So you can be different too. And If you want to find who you are, find who you look up to and progress towards that. And that's who you are. You're the person who's progressing towards being a better you by following in the footsteps of this person. And if you get the chance to do that, and you get the chance to document your journey into doing that, that's completely fine. Like for me, I want to teach you guys. I want to be looked at as somebody who can help the art community. Am I that person yet? No. But the whole journey is what makes me that person. And at some point I'm going to be there. And everybody who's with me is going to see that. So, in my opinion, the journey is what makes you you. Think about movies that you watch. You look at heroes. Let's talk about anime. You look at somebody like Sasuke. You look at somebody like Naruto, and you watch how they develop. He said, "Okay, I have this goal." He set out a goal, and then he pushed towards making that goal. And at some point, you stopped looking at him the same. At some point, it was like, okay, everybody relied on him. There was a mentor, but now the mentor's stepping back, and it's fine for you to be on that journey. You won't always be the winner. You won't always be the main guy. And that's part of the journey. That's part of getting to the point where you can present yourself as this person. You can't just wake up and say, "Hi, I'm Jake Paul. Hi, I'm Logan Paul, and I want to act like him and position myself as him." There's a certain amount of money that it takes to do certain video ideas that these guys have. So what do? You start off small. You start off where you are, and that's fine. And coming back around to art, if you have a style that you want to achieve, feel free to create everything and anything, and you're gonna find yourself desiring to draw another thing or getting comfortable in one way or another way. And maybe people won't like it. And that's okay. Because as artists, it's not always all about selling, but if you do want to be an artist who sells, now you have to take it as a business. So it's either your product is going to speak for itself, or your product is merchandise, which means it's an extension of who you are. So you have two ways to work, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that, hey, anybody can become an artist and anybody creating anything can win, but I can give you a few tips that there's a tribe that might appreciate what you do, because there's art out here that I look at and I'm like, that's ridiculous, who would buy that? And then somebody's like, this is amazing, I want it. And I'm like, what? But you have to be realistic and also be less hard on yourself. And the thing is that you think, I want to be a successful artist and I want to have this style. But part of that journey is really, really understanding what it takes to own that style. And that's why I say it's fine to copy people, because you cut your learning curve in half. If you didn't have people that you looked up to, you wouldn't be able to cut down the time that it takes to reach that level. Because the whole goal is that somebody exists so that you can learn from their life and reach their level faster. Hence, by the time you're their age, you're better than them, or you've achieved more than what they've achieved. So in that instance, I look and I say, I want to be the Gary Vee for the art community. I want to be the a fine artist, okay, a Damien Hirst kind of guy. I want to be able to make money as an artist. I want to be able to have influence on what the art community and the art world is like. I want to have a curatorial mind. Curatorial? I don't know. I want those kinds of things. So you start to study why it worked for them and what it might take for you to do that in modern time. And you start pushing yourself towards that. And sometimes you'll learn that that's not for you. And that's part of the journey of even discovering yourself, is finding out, oh, that's not for me. That's for someone else. And you get presented with a choice. Should I present myself this way, or should I present myself that way? And whichever one you feel more comfortable in, because there's comfort and there's also discomfort. And you need a healthy amount of discomfort, but another healthy amount of comfort. So what I mean by this is, if you're uncomfortable, you grow outside your comfort zone. But if you aren't enjoying, so I guess let's not say comfort and discomfort, let's just say discomfort and satisfaction and achievement and happiness, because I can become very uncomfortable, but I enjoy being uncomfortable. So if you're finding joy, if you believe that this discomfort is worth it, then you've probably found where you want to be. And the truth is that if you still think that the joy is at the end, then you should stop now, because the joy is in the middle, and you're going to be in the middle for almost all of your life. Because when you're at that stage where you've made it, it's probably going to be a situation where you want to reach the next level, and that's a new journey. The thing is that you're on an endless marathon because the objective continues changing. And if you don't enjoy running, then it's over for you. You shouldn't be on the track, because you're on the untimed treadmill. It gets faster and the miles get longer and longer. So if you don't gain energy from actually running, then that's it. People ask me, how are you able to bring out all this content? And I'm like, I look at it and I enjoy the growth. That's what I love doing. I love growing. I love challenging myself. I love that. That's why I won't get burnt out. That's why if I see something that's worth it, I will push myself, and I'll probably go beyond most people that are inside that profession or trying to achieve that skill. It can take me longer, yes, but I will push harder than most people will, because I enjoy pushing myself. I come from a background of skateboarding, and if you know about that, you're falling most of the time. That's what's going on. And not in every aspect of your life do you have to be the person who's always pushing, but that's just me, okay? So, in summary, your style is the journey. That's your style. The people that you choose to copy, the people that you choose to look up to, are part of the things that make you unique. I like fine art. I like a little bit of nude art. I really love figurative art, and at the same time I like abstract. And I also like having a three-dimensional, slightly surreal feel to my artwork. And that combination makes me different. Then there's different artists I look up to and different things that I pluck and take from each of them, and I leave out certain things that made them them, and I include things that aren't part of their idea, and that's what makes up my style. And part of it is the evolution and cleaning up of this until I find... The thing is that you stop finding inspiration from other artists and you start looking to your life for more inspiration, so it feels less like you're stealing, but in actuality you're just no longer taking from different artists. Now you're taking from, you've learned how to translate your internal experiences into art. That's when you stop feeling like you've stolen. That's when you start feeling like, okay, I have my own style. It's that, okay, now I've become this kind of person. I'm comfortable no longer looking at other images or other ideas and like trying to translate them. Now I look at things outside of what other artists have created, and now I translate them. I look into books, I look into moments, I look into words, and I create art pieces out of these words. And these words are just written by a different kind of artist, an author, instead of a fine artist, a visual artist. So that's another thing about quote unquote stealing. Now you might even be stealing from a reality that you create. I know that one of my favorite artists, he gets these outfits and he puts them together, and then he creates a set, and then he takes a photograph, edits that, and now he starts creating the artwork. So by the time you're creating the artwork, you're taking inspiration off of a photograph, but it's a photograph that you created from an idea that maybe you might have potentially seen somewhere else that you just curated. But your art is no longer coming directly from a different artist's work. Your art is coming from a photograph that might have been inspired by a furniture set, and that furniture set was created by another artist. So you can't have original ideas. I'm sorry. You have eyes, you have ears, and you didn't create anything around you. Everything that comes into your head was created by somebody else. So get over the whole idea that you're going to be original or you're going to be creative. You're practically making a collage inside your head, and that's where the creativity comes. Your experiences create the creativity. Have you ever looked at a rose underwater near a volcano? Okay, that's weird, but it's weird, and it's an experience that few people will have. And that is what makes it seem creative. But those are all ideas from this world. Now, let's just say that you invert the image, you make it in sepia or something. Now it's different, and then you say, okay, and now we're gonna include weird lightsabers, and we're gonna put it in an anime style. All of a sudden, it's just this completely different composition that seems like it's your style, but it's a collage of everything you've seen. So your style is your journey. Your style is who you are right now, and your style is gonna change. So accept that and stop beating yourself up about it. Thanks for listening to me. If you made it this far, comment what was helpful, if there was any insight. Yeah. Thanks for watching.